Hey guys, Dan Torresman with CBReptile.com, and today we have a very special friend with us. We have our prehensile-tailed monkey-tailed skink. Alright, so while talking about our monkey-tailed skink, let's get into a little bit of the basics. Our monkey-tailed skink is going to live for about 15 or more years in captivity, as well as they are going to be getting to sizes about 2-3 feet long at full growth. A portion of that will be their prehensile tail, as you can see. He is wrapping a little bit around my finger at the moment. These can actually support a good portion of their weight from their tail, and their prehensile tail is going to mean that they are capable of moving it around and positioning it to use effectively in its own environment. That means that these are climbing reptiles. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to set up your terrarium in just a second. Alright guys, so let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about how we're going to house our beautiful new reptile. So for our monkey-tailed skinks, what we're going to be using is an 18 by 18 by 24 terrarium. This terrarium is going to be perfect for your skink because it has a door that swings open, as well as has a portion under here where you can keep your substrate. That's going to be very important a little bit later when we talk about humidity. These are going to be great, again, because they have that height. The 18 by 18 is going to ensure that it has a square dimension. However, the height is going to be a little bit larger than that. So we like the height because our monkey-tailed skinks, using their monkey tails, love to climb. So what we do with these is add a bunch of climbing materials to the already existing cork wall that comes with the 18 by 18 by 24 terrariums that come from CBReptile.com. So swing by and pick one up. These are going to be a few different aesthetics that we like to use here at CBReptile.com to simulate an environment similar to what they would find in their natural habitat. So over here we have some of our vines. Vines are great to make that area a little bit greener, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing from the outside, as well as allows them to have a little bit of coverage when they are climbing. So it makes your reptile feel a little bit more safe. Speaking of climbing, we also have some branch rope. Branch rope is great because it's a porous material that allows them to stick their claws right into it and allows them to climb super easy. So we very, very highly recommend you get some of the branch rope as well. Behind this branch rope and a little bit over here too, we have some cork. Cork is the exact same material that's going to be made out of the wall that's going to be over here in our terrarium. So you know it's going to be perfect for your reptile, and it's also going to match aesthetically. But if you guys aren't really feeling cork, you want something a little bit more tangible, we also have some of our half logs. Half logs are great. We also sell them here at CBReptile.com. So they just cut a log in half, hollow it out, and creates a really good hide. So we're going to be worrying a little bit about their safety as well as making the creature look like they are in their natural habitat. So this log would be perfect for that. So that's a little bit about the aesthetics. So let's get a little bit more into exactly what we're going to need to house your reptile and keep them safe and healthy. Cool. So now that we know the aesthetics, let's get a little bit about the importance and what is absolutely necessary for your reptile. So these reptiles are going to need a few very important things. That's going to include one of our Reptarocks and Reptaramps. These are going to be absolutely tremendous for holding the water and the food for your reptile. So they stack, which is great about these Reptarocks. So we recommend them here at CBReptile.com, and we also sell them here at CBReptile.com. So feel free to swing by and pick one of those bad boys. So as I mentioned before, we talked a little bit about the substrate, but didn't get terribly into it. So right over here, underneath of some of our moss, we have some Eco Earth. Eco Earth is made up of some ground up coconut husk, so it's going to absorb moisture really, really well, and that's exactly what we want because these guys are going to need about 70 to 90% humidity in their terrarium, which is huge amounts of humidity. So what we do with that Eco Earth is make sure it's very moist, and that's going to increase the humidity inside your terrarium. With the ambient temperature, it'll cause a lot of evaporation. That's going to be perfect. But to assist with that, we have some of our terrarium moss. Terrarium moss is really, really great holding that moisture, and it also adds a little bit of aesthetic. So it's a double whammy in that sense. So across the back of our terrarium, we're going to put some sphagnum moss or some of our terrarium moss. But then we also have this Eco Earth. So this Eco Earth, once you get it hydrated, moistened up, what you want to do is you want to fill it up to the fill line that's on the bottom of our terrarium, right below where the door opens. That's going to ensure that there's enough Eco Earth to hold the amount of moisture that you're going to need for your reptile. Also, you're not going to be able to have access to the area underneath of that terrarium, so you might as well fill all the way up with the Eco Earth as they want you to. So we are going to talk a little bit more about the heating and lighting because that's a big part of the ambient humidity and definitely something that we're going to want to keep out an eye on for our monkey-tailed skinks. That is going to be including with our hood lamp. Hood lamps provide UVB, which gives them essential vitamin D. That is going to be very, very crucial for their continued survival. These guys are not nocturnal creatures. They actually are most active during the daytime, most particularly during the very early mornings as well as the late nights. So these guys are going to be a little bit more playful than your average, or more active than your average reptile, which will be great. So with this, we're going to have that hood lamp that's going to give them that vitamin D3, but we're also going to need another light fixture. So over here we have some of our basking spot lamps as well as a light that's going to go on the top of your terrarium. So this hood lamp will be perfect for positioning right up top. That's going to give you a nice basking area. That basking area is going to be great for having your reptile be able to choose the different temperatures that it wants. That basking area is going to have about 95 to 100 degree temperature and about 85 degree temperature around the ambient temperature of your terrarium. If you guys want to keep a real close eye on your temperature and humidity, we recommend a temperature humidity gauge for every single reptile habitat that you build. This is going to be perfect for keeping an eye on the ambient temperature as well as the humidity within your terrarium. Alright guys, so we've learned a lot about our beautiful monkey-tailed skinks today. We learned a little bit about their terrarium, we learned a little bit about their habitat, but let's learn a little bit about what they eat. The biggest portion of their food is actually going to come from vegetables. These guys don't eat meat, they're vegetarians. That means that we're going to feed them a healthy mix of dark green vegetables, which are going to include kale, mustard greens. You can also feed them some veggies like squash and broccoli. But if you guys want to feel a little bit, rewarding towards your beautiful monkey-tailed skink, you can also feed them some apples and some strawberries. Make sure you keep it to a minimum, but it's good for a nice treat. Now that we're on the topic of feeding them, we're going to have to feed these guys every single day. Out of those feedings, there's going to be 2 or 3 times a week that's going to be a little out of the normal. What we're going to do is spread a little bit of Reptile on there. Reptile is a calcium and vitamin supplement that is going to add a little bit of that extra nutrients that they're not going to get inside of these leafy greens and these vegetation diets. So it's going to help them keep healthy and keep them from developing such diseases as metabolic bone disease. So it's a very, very healthy option to give that type of supplement to your animal, and we recommend it about 2-3 times a week, and that's just going to be a light dusting of the reptile. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us today and learning a little bit about our friend the monkey-tailed skink. If you want to learn more, if you have any questions, shoot us a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Hit us with a like if you enjoyed anything or even learned anything about our monkey-tailed skink, as well as hitting that bell icon to keep updated on everything CBReptile.com. This is Dan the Tourist Man with CBReptile.com signing out. Have a great one, guys. Bye.